Hi, it's Miss Chivers. This lesson is on single-digit subtraction. After you watch this lesson, you should understand better what subtraction is, and you'll have some good strategies on how to solve single-digit subtraction problems. Make sure you've got a pencil and paper handy, and you'll also need to print out the assignment that's linked with this video. Let's go ahead and get started. Have you ever done a puzzle like this one where you have to look very carefully at two different pictures and see what has changed or what's different about the second picture? Okay, so you have to look really carefully, and if you'd like to try these two, you can put the video on pause for a second, see if you can find 5 differences in the two pictures, and then press play and we'll look for them together. Here are the differences I found. Check to see if you found the same ones. Now, how can finding differences in pictures help us with math, help us with numbers? Let's see. Well, when we subtract, we're really looking at different sized groups, and we're trying to figure out what makes the groups different. So here's a group of 5 apples, and here's a group of 3 apples, and I can see that this group is a bigger group. There's more apples here. But how much bigger? What's the difference? I think the thing to do is count 1, 2, 3 apples on this side, 1, 2, 3 apples on this side, and there I see the difference is those 2 apples, right? These 2 are here on this side and they're not on the other side, just like in our picture where we had a whale on one picture and no whale on the other picture. This is the difference here. So those 2 apples, that's the difference. In subtraction, when we talk about the difference, we're talking about how much one number is different from another number. Let's look at this subtraction problem, 9 minus 3. Now, I have 9 blocks here, and I've taken 3 more blocks and I've lined them up next to my 9 blocks so that I can see the difference better. And I can see that these two match. I have a pair, and these two I have a pair, and these two I have a pair, but the rest of these blocks don't have a pair. They don't have a partner. So these are the leftovers, and that's also the difference, isn't it? So if I look at the ones that are left over, I can tell what the difference is between these two groups. 9 has a lot, 3 not so many, but when we match up these pairs and I look at what's left over and count this, I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 6 blocks left over, so that's the difference between 9 and 3. 6 blocks is the difference. Let's try it with a few more blocks. Here's a block. It's got 6 pieces to it, and I would like to take away 2. I'd like to take away 2. So here's a block with 2 pieces. I'm going to turn it upside down to show that I'm taking that away. When I put it right here next to my 6 block, I can see that it matches 2 of the blocks on the 6 block, and there's some left over. I'm going to put a block there that matches those, and I'll fit this one right in there. And you can see now that I have all the space filled up. Okay, I have my 6 block, my largest number, my biggest block. I have the amount that I'm taking away, and these pieces that fit in the empty space, they are the answer, aren't they? They're the ones that are left over. So now I have my math problem here. I have 6 minus 2 equals 4. 6 minus 2 equals 4. Now, using the blocks gave me an idea. Let's take a look at this subtraction problem that we did a few minutes ago. 9 minus 3 equals 6. We had 9 blocks, and we subtracted 3, and we saw that the number of blocks that didn't have partners or were left over were 6 blocks. Now, what if I put a 6 block right here so that we can see that group? 9 minus 3, and now we can see the 6 that goes with the 3 and the 9. We have our subtraction problem right there. 9 minus 3 equals 6. Now this might be reminding you of what you did when you were learning to add. Maybe you took 3 blocks and you added 6 blocks. Okay, and that would have equaled 9 blocks, right? And it's the same problem, isn't it? 3, 6, and 9. And here we have 9, 3, and 6. They're the same digits, and they go together because they're called a fact family. If you know your addition facts, you can use what you know about addition to help you answer subtraction problems. Let's see how that works. A fact family is a group of numbers that go together like a family goes together, and it's fun to think about them living in a house. So you can make a house shape by making a triangle and a square, and that can help you to understand how fact families work. So here we have 8 plus 5 equals 13. Now the members of the family are the 13, okay, and the largest one goes at the top of your triangle, and then the other members of the family are the 8 and the 5, and there they are. Those are the 3 members of the family. And with those 3 family members, we can make 4 different math problems. Okay, we can make 8 plus 5 equals 13. You see that there. We can also take the 5 and put it in the front. So instead of 8 plus 5 equals 13, we can take the 5 and let it be in the front and put another addition symbol because this is an addition problem, and then we can move the 8 and have that one be second, and that still equals 13. Now how do we use this for subtraction? Let's take the 13 this time and put it at the front of the problem. Remember, the largest number always has to go first when we're talking about subtraction. Okay, now we don't want to add, we want to subtract this time. And what are we going to subtract? Well, the other family members. We can subtract the 8, and that will give us 5, because all 3 members of the family have to be in the problem. Let's try another way. We could take the 13 and we can move it to the front again because the largest number goes in the front in a subtraction problem, and then we can put a subtraction symbol, and then instead of having 8 go in the middle, let's have 5 go in the middle. They take turns, and then who will go at the end this time? 8, and there they are. That's our fact family. By using the members of the family, 8, 5, and 13, we were able to make 2 addition problems and 2 subtraction problems. This is how you can use addition to help you understand and solve subtraction problems. How can we do that? All we have to do is turn the problem around and think of it as an addition problem. And remember our fact families when we're doing it. So let's turn the problem around. That means take the blank space, and instead of having it be at the end, let's put it at the front. And let's take that 9 and put it at the end. So they swapped places, they changed places. We're still going to keep the 4 in the middle. The equal sign stays the same, but instead of minus, we want to put an addition symbol. Now we can ask ourselves a question that we might know the answer to. What number plus 4 equals 9? Now maybe you already know. Do you know the answer? You might be able to say it and just fill it in. If you don't know the answer, then we can try to solve it in some different ways. But if you know your addition facts really well, you might be able to just say the answer. If you do know the answer, it's a 5. 5 is the number that you add to 4 to equal 9. If you know that 5 plus 4 equals 9, and you're thinking of your fact families, then you know that 5, 4, and 9 are in the same family. What would it look like? Remember, the largest number goes at the top, 9, and the other numbers go in the corners, 5 and 4. Once we know our fact family, we can use it to solve the subtraction problem. 9 minus 4, well, the other member of the family is 5. 9 minus 4 equals 5. Now it's your turn to give it a try. I'd like you to turn these problems around and try to solve them by remembering your addition math fact. So if we have a subtraction problem on this side, remember we just change the first number and the space. We have them change places. Okay, so we were going to put the space in the front, and then we're going to take the number that was at the beginning and put it at the end. We're going to change the symbol to plus. So you're going to rewrite your problems and see if you can solve it by remembering what number plus the other number would equal the answer that you have. That's your fact family. Go ahead and click pause while you solve these, and then press play again when you're done, and we'll check our answers. Okay, here's the answers. Here on this side are how the addition problems would look, and here are the numbers that answer the addition problem and also the subtraction problem. So when we see that there's a 5 on the line here, we know that 8 minus 3 equals 5 because 5 plus 3 equals 8. Go ahead and check your work and correct any mistakes that you might have made, and then we're ready to move on. It's time for you to work on your assignment. You need to print out the assignment page that's linked with this video and then complete the problems. When you're finished, you're going to send it to your math intervention teacher so that you can get makeup class credit. That's the end of the lesson, so make sure to complete your assignment and send it to your math intervention teacher. Thanks very much. Bye-bye.